This is To the Rescue Authentic Networking, and I'm Jennifer Johnson, Executive Director of TTR Networking and Relationship Marketing Coach. This show is all about authentic business networking know-how, relationship building, and the success strategies used by our members to grow their businesses and to give back to local nonprofits. Be sure to stay up to date. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Be sure to click the bell to get the notifications. Oh, yeah, and please visit our website, ttrnetworking.com. We are TTR Networking. We're industry-exclusive networking groups. We meet weekly to share easy relationship marketing tools, fun, entertaining, and informative events and fundraising. We are so glad you're here. Now on with the show.
Welcome to the Rescue Authentic Networking. My name is Nicole Williams, and we have Dawn Evans Casey with us today, and Jennifer Johnson, my co-host, wonderful co-host, and we're so excited that you're here with us. We'd like to give a shout out to Send Out Cards for being our sponsor. I have 3 examples today of cards that I did. My daughter graduated yesterday, woo-hoo, from high school. I'm going to do a shout out to all the high school graduates, college graduates, anything. Like Dawn had said another time, or someone had said, the 5th grade, the middle schoolers, all of y'all. But this is cute. So on Send Out Cards, you just pick a card, you pick a picture. This is one of her pictures in front of, she did a job before COVID. She did the before and after school care. So she did that, and just like a little note. This was a pre-graduation kind of note, and so it's kind of cool. Behind the scenes, my youngest Lainey made me a Mother's Day card. Aww. So it's kind of cute. She pulled a picture, wrote me lots of stuff. Which is really sweet, and put like another picture. And then the thing that's really cool for like businesses, you can custom your back,
yes.
Do your business. So that's really cool. And then Lainey, like a week ago or two, sent me one of the cards we have is a quote by Brene Brown, which will say, I know. We'll share the quote with you later. But Lainey put like a cute saying, and if anybody's familiar with Mr. Forky from Toy Story 4, is it Forky? He's like my favorite character ever. So, but anyway, so it's cute, and then like little things. But anyway, to get a free card on us, you can visit www.sendoutcards.com/www.sendoutcards.com/thankful single mama. So free card on us. Jennifer, how's it going?
Well, except for the fact that I forgot my props and I'm in a different office area here. I can't believe I didn't bring my props, but I'm sorry I didn't. So I had to makeshift this, and I love
it. And I still read it wrong. I'm reading it.
Can you even see? I don't know. Sendoutcards.com/thankful single mama, MOMMA. So that's where you go to send a card. That's cool. You know what? We're doing okay. I am in a different office, but I'm fine. We're good. Our schedule's a little different today. Just glad to be here. And I wish I was where our guest is, but she's going to tell us about that in a few minutes. But no, we're good. I think that this, the pandemic is we just keep everybody in prayer. That's all, frontline, everybody. So glad that most of our networking family, things are going well for them, even though we've moved everything online. It seems like things are picking up, or a lot of our industries are doing well. So can't really complain about that. And I know you've already shared. Yes,
well, I was going to say, the groups are doing so well. You went from 12 to 13?
We have 13 groups.
That opened up. Yeah.
So if they go to www.TTR Networking, like Totally Terrific Relationships is what we're calling it now. Totally Terrific Relationships, ttrnetworking.com. They'll find out more. And our guest, well, actually, Dawn is one of our leaders, and our guest is one of our leaders too. So that's pretty cool. Do we want to, Dawn? I'm just jumping right on top of that. How are you?
Yeah.
How's it going, Dawn?
Good. Good. I'm good. Can you hear me?
Yes. You have a husband that you're
Awesome.
taking care of, aren't you? Uh-oh, now she did. freeze.
Yeah, I
Oh.
have a sick hubby. You know, no one ever wants the pandemic situation, but to be sheltered at home is a great time to be managing this. So I'm able to do my travel business and manage my nonprofit and take care of my husband at the same time. So I feel truly blessed. Thank you for asking.
Well, and the good thing that we can say, so nobody walks away saying, oh my gosh, Dawn's husband's got the COVID-19. No, he had a gallbladder removed, right?
Oh, no.
No COVID.
Yes.
It's the
Yes.
gallbladder thing. Yes. And we were talking the other
No
day.
COVID.
Go ahead.
He was tested and tested
Good.
negative.
Good. She told
Yeah,
me that
he's in the healthcare field, so he's definitely working and surrounded by that. But he happened to be a diehard golfer. Was on the golf course, not feeling well, and just took him a while. He finished his 18 holes before he realized, maybe this flare up and this discomfort is something that I need to get checked out. So yes, I took him to emergency and they were able to take care of him, and he's back home recovering now. Thanks.
And I'm not laughing at that. I'm laughing at the fact that Dawn was telling me the other day that he is now going to be on a strict diet, and I bet you he's not going to ask about golfing very much anymore. So, or at least not for a while. But she said he had to finish his 18 holes before he could.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Well, you know what? We don't want any further ado here. I know that's anything longer. We got to get our guest out here. We are very fortunate. Well, she's been on looking beautiful, sitting in front of this beautiful water behind her. And I don't know where that's supposed to be. You aren't really sitting there, are you, Angie?
I wish I was supposed to be.
Oh, that's right. You did it. Well, we have Angie McHale, who's an ambassador of Ever Skincare, and she's going to tell us more about that. She happens to be a leader of one of our groups. So just plug that again. It's TTRnetworking.com. You can go on. And what group are you the leader for? One more time.
UpTown Connectors.
UpTown Connectors. And you've been there for a little while. We're just so glad that you could come on. The first question really is who you are. We already know you're Angie. We all know you are, but we want to know, our listeners want to know who you are, what you do, and has the COVID-19 pandemic affected your business at all, or how is it affecting your business?
Okay, well, yes, I am an ambassador with Ever Skincare. Ever is a clean and clinically proven line of skincare and beauty products. I just joined them last September. I've been in the home-based skincare business for almost 5 years, and a good friend and mentor introduced me to Ever in the summertime in August, and I made the switch from a 4-year career with one skincare brand to this one. And the key thing was cleaner ingredients. We're all trying to clean up our environments, the toxins in our homes, and the products that you put on your skin are immediately absorbed into your bloodstream. So we want to be very careful of that too. Non-chemical products, but it's not, there's a lot of natural beauty out there, which is great. But Ever was the first to market with clinical results as well. So we have a third-party testing company that tests all of our products and some very, very high recommendation results with those clinical trials. So that intrigued me, the cleaner environment, the cleaner skincare. Of course, I had to try it to make sure that it worked, and I've been absolutely blown away by the results of the skincare. Very interestingly, about 2 weeks after I joined and learned more about the company, I found out that our founder, Jessica Heron, also founded Stella and Dot, which is a fashion and jewelry company. They were primarily in-home parties. You know, women get together, buy jewelry, try clothes on. They have fantastic bags too, purses. She also founded a jewelry company called Keep Collective, which is very sentimental jewelry, lots of charms and things that kind of tell a story about who you are. So 3 really interesting companies that she founded, and she was merging the 3 of them. So in January, all of the Stella and Dot stylists, all the Keep Collective designers, and all the Ever skincare specialists became one brand. And so now we operate on what we call social retail platform, where women can get, quote unquote, the trifecta of everything that women want and need. So we have the full skincare, full makeup line, jewelry, bags, clothing, and sentiment. And so that's what I do now. I couldn't be happier with the switch that I made. And part of the reason that this background is here is in my first 3 months with Ever, I earned a trip to Cancun. And my husband and I were all set to go. We were leaving April 29th and coming back on May 1st. Of course, that got canceled. So I decided to put this background in here. Not to mention, so you can't see the mess of my office. That's an added bonus, right? How has COVID affected the business? I'll be honest, anybody that sells products, when something like this happens, you go, oh no, everybody's losing their job. Who's going to buy from me? I was very worried. And I cannot even stress enough how much self-care is important to people right now, because my team alone doubled our sales in the month of April. And so I think people are, number one, they're at home more, so they're taking better care of themselves. You know, skincare is practical, it's good. We're all aging all the time, but it's also fun. We have masks and we have scrubs and, you know, just fun things to do when you have nothing to do, you know. And so, yeah, it's been fantastic. The other thing is I am in the process of building a team. And so I have a business opportunity to offer people. And I've been trying to find people that I know have been sorely affected by this, you know, restaurant owners, salon owners, hairstylists, lots of people without jobs. And so, yeah, I've been able to offer that opportunity. Our founder goes on videos all the time and talks about how we're more of a mission than a company, and that mission starts with giving women the opportunity to earn on their own times, because 70% of women, even if they work full-time, they're still the primary caregiver for families, whether that's kids, spouses, parents, whatnot. So, and it's very difficult to make a decent living with all of those challenges. And so our company is constantly making changes to make it even easier for us to run our businesses. So COVID has been, you know, of course, it has affected a lot of people negatively, but we in the skincare business are doing very well. And trying to sell in this kind of environment can feel kind of icky, but we're reminded also that we are a large company with employees at our home office and our distribution centers and our delivery centers, and we're keeping all of them employed by buying skincare and jewelry and bags, because you will be able to use them again someday.
Sure. Yeah, good.
That's awesome. Thank you. Okay, so our show is about authenticity. And like to us, it means being real, being genuine. We would like to know how you use authenticity or what it means to you in your business.
So I would say, I was thinking about these earlier, 3 things. One is just honesty. When you decide to go into any kind of sales position where you have products to offer, you must believe in them 100%. I'm sure we've all come across salespeople that are just selling for a living. They really don't care that much about the product. Some of them don't even use the products that they sell, believe it or not. So I think that's super, super important. I think that in the networking, we're kind of talking about the networking world. You have to not be there just to get something, but to give something, and to always be how can I help someone else? Because in the end, that always comes back to you too. That's the whole pay it forward thing, which I love when we see that in humanity every once in a while. And then the other thing is just care for your customer. Like, I really want these ladies to love their skin. It's not just about here, buy a bottle of this, buy a bottle of that. But I got a text this morning from a woman who her regimen finally showed up yesterday, first time user. And she texted me at 7:30 this morning and said, oh my gosh, I used this last night and my skin is glowing and it feels so healthy. And that's why I do what I do. You know, wanting to actually help your customer.
Oh, good. I like that answer.
Awesome. Awesome. Angie, I had the opportunity of being a part of your UpTown Connectors group and really enjoyed your leadership and networking with you guys. Can you share with our listening audience how you personally connect with potential clients and customers?
Yes, a couple different ways. Anytime you go into some kind of sales, you kind of start with your friends and family, but at some point in time, they've heard from you enough. And so that's kind of why I do the networking. I do TTR, but I also belong to One Zone, the Chamber of Commerce. And whenever I'm out meeting other people, I immediately, I'm collecting business cards. I immediately go to Facebook and become friends with them, find out what their business is, and reach out and start a conversation. It's not always about skincare. It's just a conversation. I think that in our networking group, just having conversations done. You were part of our group and you're a part of another group now, so you can attest to each group has its own personality. And in our group, we really just try to get to know each other as people and get to know each other's businesses more. And I feel like, the end result of making introductions for each other is a lot easier to do that when you really know who each other is. And as a mom, as a dad, as a brother, whatever. Oh my goodness, my daughter just walked in here with full makeup on. She's 9.
Aww.
She's out on the beach too. Look how pretty she is. She's out on the
I
beach
see. The
with
sister did it. My 20-year-old did it for her. So sorry for the interruption.
Actually, if you're paying attention to, or if you are connected with Angie on different platforms, she's her daughters are getting involved in all of this. I'm like, whoa.
Did you see Caitlin's video?
Well, I skimmed. Don't tell her I didn't watch it yet, but I will. But I saw it and I'm like, oh boy, she's got 4 daughters that are going to be helped. I mean, this is Angie's, whether I know Ever's good because I'm using some of the products, obviously, but the idea that you've got 4 daughters ready to help you just take this to the moon, you're going to do great. One of the questions was, how did you, well, I know the story. It's kind of funny because I asked this question and I'm usually the one responsible for badgering people into the role they are. But how did you find us? Do you remember how you found us, and well, we know you're the leader of the UpTown Connectors, and you've already said a lot about that. But how did you find us?
So I stepped into the home skincare business almost 5 years ago. It was the same year my oldest daughter went to college and my youngest went to kindergarten. So for the first time in my 18 years of staying at home, I did not have a little one at home because they're all spread out. And so knowing that this was happening, I joined a business, but I realized this mama's got to get out of the house if she's going to run a business. So I attended at the Ritz in Carmel. I attended the Small Business Expo, and this was 4 years ago now, I think, and met you, Jennifer, at the table for it was then called Northside Networking. And I was intrigued, and I hadn't been in the workforce for so many years. I didn't know about this network. I knew a little bit because my husband owns a business, but anyway, I gave it some thought, and when Kelsey finally got into kindergarten, I said, I want to join one of these groups. But I also said my former company was in direct sales in skincare and, frou-frou. And I thought, some of these business people are not going to respect that. They're not going to take that, like it's a legit business. And I thought, if I lead it Number one, it makes me jump out of my shell and lead something again. I get to pick the time and the day and the place. I get to pick the people, and it'll lend some credibility because I'm the leader. Yes, I schlep skincare, but guess what? It's a legitimate business and I'm your leader. So that was kind of how that all started.
You know, and you actually, I mean, we could talk because I know my question is really, can you share a story? But I would tell you, one of the things I can tell you about having you in leading a group, but also in the network, for me, a story is that I can always refer back to Angie is there is that, and I don't want to go into too much, but there is, there's people who do what is considered a traditional 9 to 5 or whatever.
Right.
And then there's the network marketing world, which in some groups gets kind of a bad rap, unfortunately. But usually, and I think we can all agree, because all of us here on the call would probably be able to say, it's more than likely that they had a bad experience. They really don't understand until they meet somebody like Angie or Dawn or Nicole and understand that it's a legitimate business opportunity. You met some people who took the opportunity and maybe either presented it to you or thought for themselves it was going to be easier than it was, or it was not work and it was just going to get more people on your team and it wasn't going to be a job. When you meet Angie, you find out she is very dedicated to a job. I don't want to say job. You can tell she's passionate about it, but she's a professional. She's authentic. She's not really in front of the water, people. That's not authentic, but
no, full disclosure.
but when so I'm kind of, I don't know if you had a story to share, but I would say that's my story that I share about Angie kind of came in with, and I agree. She got to pick the day, the time, the place. She went about finding the right members, and the core members have been there. We've had people come and go out of that group, but she's got a real good base, and it's because she's professional and she's, she takes it seriously, and she was looking for, and I'm just glad that it worked out. Do you have any stories that you could tell? That's my story. I tell everybody.
Yeah, I mean, my story about how I found it, and but I do have to say, one of the questions that you were going to ask was, how has it affected my business being part of TTR?
Yes.
And just one of the many ways is one of my girls that I brought into this business. I met her through someone who visited our TTR group. I don't know if you remember Nikki. Were you there when Nikki visited twice, I think? And Nikki's a powerhouse. I want her on my team immediately if I can talk her into it. But anyway, she loved the idea of Ever Skincare. She loves the jewelry and everything. And she said, I have a friend who is looking for some side income. And she introduced me to Amy. Amy and I had breakfast. She signed on with me probably a week later. And she's just right out of the gate, she had a fantastic start to her business. And that was all because Nikki came and visited our TTR group. So
and that's kind of exciting when you can say, oh yeah, she didn't even join the group. Right. She didn't even join your team. She just made an introduction to you. Yep. And how cool is that? But obviously it speaks that you acted on it quickly. You did what you had to. You might not have known this person was even going to turn into a teammate, let alone, so that's pretty cool. Well, good. That's a good story. Dawn, I think it's your turn. I kind of jumped all over that one.
That's okay. Not a problem. Angie, I know one of the big tenets of TTR networking is not only helping each other as members of the networking group. We do that and enjoy that so much, but we also reach out and help others who aren't necessarily connected to TTR networking. We help the community and nonprofits. Mm-hmm. And I know that your group particularly has done quite a few projects assisting your local community. So if you could talk on that a little bit, what are the nonprofits that you support and how UpTown Connectors has made a positive impact with them?
Sure, yeah. one of the other things that I do in my world is I belong to a service organization called the Exchange Club. The Exchange Club is a local chapter of a national group. There's like 600 clubs across the country, and their sole purpose is fundraising for nonprofits. And so having gotten into that has introduced me to so many nonprofits out there. We bring speakers in, and so whenever somebody comes to speak at the Exchange Club, I bring them to my TTR group too, just for not necessarily that we're going to be able to give money to every one of them, but we're all living in this community. So it's just awareness about different nonprofits. Go ahead, Stan. Go ahead, Stan. So anyway, but I would like to highlight one of the nonprofits that we did several fundraisers for last year, and it's Dotted Line Divas. And I just love the story about it's a little bit different than some other nonprofits, just in the way that it all came about, which I guess most nonprofits probably come about very similarly. Christina Huffins is the founder, and Christina was a single mom and financially having some rough times, and she taught herself extreme couponing, which is that TV show, which I never watched, but I get it. These people walk in with so many coupons that the cashier is actually paying them back for their whole cart of groceries, right? So her friends found out about what she was doing, and some friends with church, and they said, you know, can you teach me how to do it? So she started teaching some classes. And from that, all these people became aware of what she was doing, and they decided to use the extreme couponing for those who are, poverty-stricken, falling on hard times, specifically with personal goods. So soap and shampoo and feminine products and all the things that if a family is on government assistance, they cannot use that money for those kinds of things, for any personal care. Laundry detergent, like just all the things that you would think. So, they say, we want you to go out and find a job, but you're not allowed to use this money to go buy shampoo to get yourself presentable to go to an interview, right? So anyway, she and her friends created Dotted Line Divas, and that's where the dotted line came from, is the couponing. So they take donations of money, they take donations of products, but really what they do is take that money, shop at a couple stores that have become partners with them using the couponing, and they can give a bag full of personal care products to a family of 4 that will last them a month for $5. They don't pay the $5, but that's how much it costs Dotted Line Divas for a whole bag of things. Yeah, it's pretty incredible. So they serve, I don't know what the current numbers are, but for when I knew it, they were serving about 50 to 60 families once a month in their pantry. So just one of the really cool nonprofits that we've supported. They were our charity for last year, and I'm really sad to say we haven't chosen it yet this year because things kind of went nuts as of like February. But there's so many great causes out there. So
yeah, and
that is a great organization. Thanks.
It is a really impressive, and I happened to be able to be part of that event. I was there, and I was very happy I was, because then I was like, do you teach classes on this? Because we all need to know this stuff. So, yeah, it was pretty awesome. Cool.
So good. Yeah. So how can our audience find you? We want to do business with you. How can we find you?
Well, do you want me to give my email or
for your business, or how would you like us to contact you?
So probably the best way is find me on Facebook. My name is Angie McHale on Facebook. I also have a Facebook group of my VIPs, which are customers and prospects. That's called Angie's Clean, Conscious Beauty and Fashion. Conscious Beauty and Fashion.
I know I'm in it, but that doesn't. Conscious Beauty and Fashion?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Keep going. Sorry.
Yep. That's the best way, really. My website is stella.com. It's kind of weird. It's /sites, SITES/AngieM. And that's why I say, find me on Facebook. We'll connect, and I'll get you to my website a lot easier than that.
The really cool thing is when somebody is ordering from you, they're actually able to buy from all 3 of those companies.
Right.
Which is very cool. Not many of them can actually say that. you know.
Yeah. And you know, something else, speaking of the tech and how to find me, our company, before this whole COVID thing happened, nobody knew that this was coming. They invested about $50 million in tech tools because they wanted us to be able to do more virtual business. And so now we're set. We've got, someone comes to me, for instance, and says, I want your best-selling serum, which is, we call it Botox in a bottle. It's called Youthful. I can go to my back office and create a shopping bag, put it in the cart for them, share the link. They click on the link. It takes them to the shopping bag on my website. They can add things to the bag. They can take things out of the bag. It gives them descriptions and ingredients and everything for what's in the bag. And then when they're ready, they just click checkout. And all I had to do is put a cart together and send it to them. And then they can do the online shopping thing. So it's pretty, yeah, we're poised for the new normal for sure.
She definitely, that's true, because she sent me a bag or a shopping cart like a couple weeks ago. So it was pretty cool. Yeah. Very cool. Dawn, did you want to ask her the last question, I guess?
Just wondering if, Angie, if you have any final thoughts or information to share with our listening audience.
I was going to share, because many of our audience is probably in sales or business of some kind, and there's a thing called the unicorn customer, and I had one of those just happen this past week. Crazy way. So earlier you were asking, like, where do you find your customers, and you're just kind of out there on social media. When I changed brands, I happened to have some inventory, and I was trying to unload it, and I posted it on Facebook Marketplace. And it sat, and it didn't get bought, and I forgot about it. And then the actual bottles expired in February, so I threw them away. Last week, I got a message from a complete stranger asking if that bottle was still available. And I said, I'm so sorry, I forgot to shut it down. It is not. I said, and then I just started up a conversation with her because I'm very familiar with that brand and she's using them. So I started asking her, what are you using? And we got in this long messaging conversation. I tried to get her on the telephone, and she was super sweet. She said, you know what, Messenger is better for me. My English isn't very good, and telephone kind of makes it difficult. So we messaged for probably an hour. And I just told her what I was doing now. And within probably 2 days of doing some back and forth, she sold off all of her product that she had in her cabinet, used the money to purchase an Ever regimen. Then for 5-10 days, however long shipping is taking these days, she texts me every day, when is it coming? When is it coming? I cannot wait. Thank you so much for getting me on clean ingredients and all of that. And this morning is when she finally used her regimen last night. And this morning she was the person that messaged me and said, my skin feels amazing. Something like what she wanted to know, order of products and all that kind of stuff. Complete stranger from out of the blue, but it's because of involvement in social media. I happened to post my stuff. And when she asked, you know, do you have this? I got her into a conversation. And that's probably the most unicorn of customer that I've ever had.
Yeah, that's a great story. Yeah.
That is cool.
Yeah.
Those types of testimonials really support the authenticity of our business. Those things happen. They make you feel great as the entrepreneur. The customer is obviously very pleased, and it gives you an opportunity to share some positivity with others who may not be as familiar. So that's great. Thank you so much.
Sure.
That's great. Thank you. I think she's awesome. If she hadn't brought her palm trees with her, though, what would we all do? I mean, I feel like I've been sitting on the beach listening to the whole, it's pretty cool.
I'm crossing my fingers that our Cancun trip gets rescheduled instead of just canceled. Right now it's kind of just looming out there, but nobody knows when we'll be able to travel again. So
yeah, that's too bad. Go ahead, Nicole.
Yes, well, we want to thank you, Angie, for telling us all about your business, and we learned so much, and it's just amazing.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
Dawn, is there anything else, final thoughts you'd like to give us today?
I'm just let's keep it going. Let's stay connected. You know, sometimes when you want to, if you want to have rainbows, you sometimes got to deal with a little rain, but it's definitely worth it. That's about it. Thanks.
Well, that's good.
Especially with the unicorns.
Right, definitely. Well, I mean, if you're, I don't know, are you going to ask me if I have a quote? Because you don't. You have a quote today, don't you?
Yeah,
But you know what? What I would like to say before that is that I do believe that when Angie joined our groups, and I say this about you two ladies too, but truly, truly, the level of profession she brought. I mean, I remember because you and I spent some time talking a couple times before you ever joined, and I kept ever joined. Isn't that funny?
It's funny how often that word comes up.
No kidding. But when you did, I remember thinking, I just want this to really work for her. For one reason, she's a nice lady. I like her. She's younger than me. I don't know. I don't want to call her a lady. She's
Not by much, Jennifer.
Okay. But when we got to know each other, and I realized she takes, like we said earlier, she took something that some people, she figured out she could be the leader, and the professionalism and everything of what she brought to the group, but also brought, because some other people would come in and probably be kind of, network marketing, they don't know. We already talked about that, but Angie brought it in and did such a great, and was herself. And we just thank her for, I thank all of our members, but Angie, thank you for being here today and sharing your story. And I would definitely say that your unicorn story does prove that if you work hard and you start conversations, they will reward you. It might not happen right away, but so that leads into your authenticity quote, Nicole.
Okay, so authenticity.
Yeah, I don't know if we can't see it very well. I can't see it, but I gotta put my glasses on, so go ahead.
Well, authenticity is not something we have or don't have. It's a practice, a conscious choice of how we want to live. Authenticity is a collection of choices that we have to make every day. It's about the choice to show up and be real, the choice to be honest, the choice to let our true selves be seen. Thank you, Brene Brown.
Yay.
You can get this on a card for free.
No kidding, you can. Yeah, but isn't that a great way to end it? Thank you very much. I appreciate that. This great show, guys. Good job, Angie. We're glad that you could finally get on our show. Good.
Thank you.
So we look forward to many more conversations to come. And until next time, may all your days be filled with authenticity.
See you guys.
Thank you,
See you
everybody.
later. Bye.